Three. Awesome. Yay. Here we are in a new year. I'm so excited to be with Zoe again. We just have so much fun.
We do. We
We go
do.
deep, we go far, we go up, we go down,
We
we go
do.
all around.
We do. Do the whole circle, the whole circle.
Through the whole circle of life. It's just
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we thought that it might be fun to focus this video on the 2024 year. And something that I keep coming across and seeing is that it's going to be kind of a wild year. And we can see that based on the astrology of the year. I did do a video with astral priestesses and astrology, so I'll put that in the show notes if people want the more detailed parts of it. But there's a lot going on this year. A lot going on this year. It's going to be a wild year. But here's the thing that's really the essence of it all. And that is, it has to do with how we're vibrating. And so if we're spending a lot of time, and this is not to say you have to be a certain way or you should try to be a certain way, because we also need to be authentic and real. But if we can create
Yeah.
some practices where we're raising our vibration and maybe something we can do on a daily basis. And to me, the practice is loving kindness, meaning that we do something kind for ourselves and we do something kind for others. And perhaps one day you do something kind for yourself, another day you do something kind for others. And here's the thing about kindness and how it raises the vibration. They've done studies that show that when a person is doing a kindness for another person, the person giving the kindness vibration is raised. The person receiving the kindness vibration is raised. And anybody witnessing the exchange of that kindness, their vibration is raised. And I find that to be so true for me. If I witness somebody being kind to somebody else, it's just like, oh, I just feel that so deeply. So easy practices, and also recognizing that there's days where it's going to be more challenging, and that's okay. But for me, one of the things I do is I go for almost every day, I go for a walk. And when I pass people, or I go for a walk with my husband, and when we pass people, we say hi. And of course, this is being recorded right at the New Year. So we've been saying Happy New Year. People say Happy New Year back, and you can see that their energy is lifted. And when we're saying, greeting them, we're sending them love and like uplifting energy. I feel uplifted. I can see, for the most part, the people that we encounter are uplifted. There are some people that are really grumpy. And it may not be apparent. Maybe you did uplift their energy, but you just won't see it because they're not going to let you see that. But that's something we can do. Another thing is uh, just being kind to people in your neighborhood or in your community. Somebody reached out this year that was going through uh, they might be losing their house if they didn't come up with some money, and they were like, I don't really want to ask, but I need help. And so I was so uplifted in being able to help her, and she was so overjoyed, and that got witnessed by other people. So these are things we can do, and we don't have to do it every day, but maybe pick something at least once a week. If you can do something once a day, that's just being kind, to smiling at somebody that you're passing on the street or in the store or whatever that is. But definitely maybe pick something bigger, at least once a month to do. And I know you have some stories too, Zoe, about how you've experienced loving kindness. So I'll let you take it from here.
Yeah, thank you. Happy New Year, everyone. So one of the things I was sharing with Cayelin was one day last summer, I happened to go outside and my mom's neighbor was putting something in our trash can. And so we joke around all the time. So I was like, hey, what are you doing in our trash can? And she said, oh, I saw some trash in front of your mom's house. So I just decided to pick it up and put it in there. And also, her husband takes out our trash every Thursday night. He has for as long as I can remember, pulls it out to the front. And so those are definitely examples of the kindness that, people extend to myself and to my mom as an elder out of a form of respect. So, yeah.
Yeah, there's just so many ways that we can. I love that example. And we
Yeah.
don't necessarily think, oh, that's being really kind and that's going to uplift somebody.
Mhm.
So just
Mm.
offering that as a practice for people to do this year, because it's going to be a bumpy ride, I have a feeling.
Yeah, yeah. And one of the things as you were talking about loving kindness to yourself is that person asking for help. So also asking for help, admitting that you're struggling. There's no shame in that. I know that in our spiritual communities, a lot of things we choose not to talk about because of the frequency and things like that. And I do understand there's a reason why we do that, and it does make sense. And also at the same time, we don't need to suffer in silence because we're spiritual, right? No, that's not what we need to do, right? So asking for help is a sign of loving kindness. It is a sign of strength. It is not a sign of weakness. And so, yeah, and there will be people who want to help.
And you're giving them the opportunity to be kind and loving toward you, and that you get to receive that. And I think one of the challenges we have in our culture is receiving kindness from others. I know my grandmother was like, she never wanted anybody to ever do anything for her because she didn't want to owe them anything. And I
Mhm.
think we're getting past that now, but I remember I was kind of startled by that. And so being open to receive the kindness others have for us is being kind to yourself,
Yeah,
opening and being and encouraging people to receive kindness from you
yeah,
is also helpful. Sometimes people are like, oh, no, 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 that you don't need to do that. And I'm like, I want to do that.
yeah,
Love to do this for you. You give me the gift of letting me do this for you. So it
yeah.
works both ways. Yeah.
I love
Mhm.
that. And this is a reciprocal, the universe is reciprocal. And so if we're so afraid to receive, in my view, it's like we're telling the universe we don't want it. We don't need anything. We don't need any help. We don't need it. And
Yeah.
that's times
I
why
can do it myself.
that's right. And so the universe is like, okay, fine. Well, I'm going to send you a bunch of people in your life that just want to take. Right. And so that's why our manifestations don't always work, also, is because we have a funny feeling about receiving and giving. So as we go into 2024, perhaps that's something for folks to ponder on as well, is what is my relationship to giving and receiving?
Ah, I just love this because, of course, Jupiter's in Taurus. Taurus, the Taurian mysteries are all about receiving.
Mm.
And it's going to conjunct Uranus in May. And so, and Uranus is all about radical change. So how can we radically change who we are and be open to receiving the gift of this life? We've been given a gift, and if we're not really appreciating it, we're not really receiving it.
And if we're not really receiving, we're not really living.
Exactly.
So I love that you brought up Uranus, because look who is has entered the chat. Uranus.
Oh, Uranus genius.
Genius.
Yes, beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So yeah. So perhaps this. So do you want me to share what I have?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay. Well, it's really interesting. Um, we'll do this one last. So first of all, we have Go to Cola, which is all about higher consciousness.
Mm,
And so this particular, and I know that you can ingest Go to Cola. This is card number 17. So in numerology, we would bring that to an 8. And here we are in an 8 year, right? And so this particular card, when it's in the upright, it has to do with solitude, soul searching, realization, knowing, and enlightenment, and tapping into your higher conscious. And so this particular herb is associated with Mercury. So the things of Mercury, the things of the mind. And I also feel like the way we communicate, and the moon is what this is related to. So
beautiful.
perhaps if folks choose to, and you can, take this as a tea and all that. And so perhaps as people are taking that, again, perhaps the question here, because of the moon, the moon is, things aren't always hidden. I mean, things are often hidden with the moon. And when we think about our hidden drives, our hidden desires, And so perhaps the question is, what is my relationship to giving and receiving that I'm not aware of? And so asking for that to be revealed to you this year. One of my favorite cards in this deck, we have Gateway here. So this is definitely a gateway year. And I love any time I see a unicorn because we're told that they don't exist, right? But I do feel like this is about the impossible becoming possible, that this is a year for the impossible to become possible. But we want to be the directors, meaning we don't want to just be at the mercy, quote unquote, of the things that are happening. And the way that we can be more effective and more directive is by tapping into our higher conscious, understanding that this is a gateway year and it is a year for us to tap into our personal genius. And what I feel is that the more, wow, and right underneath it, we have the grand trine for blessings. And
Wow.
what I feel is the reason why we want to be more directive and not like just bouncing from thing to thing is because Uranus can already give us surprises, right? And so the more that we are prepared, the more that we are grounded in our self-love, in our creativity, the less we'll be shocked by the changes that are going to happen this year. The less we will be, right, like not prepared. We want to be energetically prepared so that we are receiving blessings, but also being a blessing and sharing them as well. I mean, this is just wild to me because then we have the Three of Cups for celebration. So these actions, right, will lead to, a certain level of celebration and ultimately transformation.
Loving this so, so much. Oh my gosh. Okay, just one quick thing before I forget. And that is because this is an 8 year and 8 is on its side, the infinity symbol. And also, if you think about, like, when I think about giving and receiving, when we give and then open to receive, we fill back up. So we have more to give. And it's like an infinity symbol
Mm,
going and receiving. And so, what a perfect, perfect theme for 2024 in an 8 year for this giving and receiving, giving kindness, receiving kindness, giving love, receiving love, all of that. Oh, just
mhm.
brilliant. And then those cards, and oh, I love the unicorns. I've been a unicorn girl from the get-go.
Stunning. Just stunning.
The magic of the unicorns, yeah.
Mhm.
So that applies to me. Not only maybe this year is also a gateway into greater magic that we can live in our life.
Yeah, I like that too, especially with this genius here.
Yes.
What else does Uranus represent?
It is all about change.
Mm,
It's all about expanding consciousness and perception into wider possibilities and to radically create change. So
huh,
unexpected, unplanned for uh, events that come into our lives that take us in new directions. We thought
uh-huh,
we were going this way, but now we're going this way.
mhm,
So, so your Uranus is about that. Also, the word genius, because
mhm,
it's very much connected to the mental realms. The
mhm,
celestial mental realms is what Uranus is connected to. And so is, yeah, Gudakola. So
mhm,
much in that.
mhm.
But genius, the the root word of genius is genie.
Yes,
So our genius is our genie within us. It's where the
yes,
magic comes from. And
yes,
when we tap into our inner genius, huh, magic can happen in ways we haven't even, like you were saying, making the impossible possible.
yeah,
Or I'm possible.
yeah, I'm possible. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
yeah, I
I love
mean,
that with the mind because we've got Mercury here, which is also
yeah,
almost like the mind is our gateway to our celebration and our transformation.
beautiful. Oh, I love that so much. And Uranus is considered the higher octave of Mercury. So clearly that's, you know, And if we think about it, it's
Mm.
outside the
Mm.
box. Uranian energy is outside the box of ordinary reality. It's outside of what it is that we think is true. It's asking us to look and see, question everything. Is what I believe true really true? And if I'm willing to question that, is there some greater truth that I can tune into and connect with to create in my reality that maybe hasn't ever been present for me before? I feel like that this year is all about that, and that it's not easy or comfortable necessarily because it takes us outside of our comfort zone when we're outside the box.
Yeah, but I feel like I mean, we always have a choice, but we don't have a choice. No, I mean, in that, or the better choice, again, I think would be to see ourselves as magical, to see ourselves as that magical gateway, to see ourselves tapping into our higher consciousness, questioning everything again, so that when things go wonky, we're centered.
Yeah,
So no matter what is going on around us, we're in the space of celebration and transformation. So I
I
love
love,
what you're saying.
yeah, and celebration and transformation rhyme, so we can make a song
Mm.
out of that.
They sure do. They sure do. I love
Yeah,
that. I love that. I love Uranus being a higher octave of Mercury. I didn't know that.
yeah, yeah, and it's all about radical change. How do we being on the leading edge of how to do things in a new and different way. It's about evolution. And I heard someone say this many, many years ago, revolution for evolution is the essence of Uranus. Revolution for evolution. So it's not just going out and being, like marching in the street and just, or trying to tear something down but you don't know what to put in its place. It's
Yeah.
really with an intention that we're going to create something greater, a more amazing, more supportive, more on that evolutionary scale where it takes us into a bigger sense of who we are, or a better sense of who we are than maybe what we've ever experienced before.
And we have to do that first in the mind. So
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. You know, I'm all about Mercury. I love Mercury. So
Yeah. And think about the mind. It can be the thing that holds us up.
yeah.
The kinds of thinking that's like, I'm not good enough, I'm not
Yeah.
smart enough, I don't know enough, I shouldn't be doing this, or
Yeah.
who am I to think I could do that, or all those limiting thoughts that we have that the
Hmm.
mind but it's like when you find yourself thinking thoughts like that, then have a mantra you can replace it with.
Exactly.
I am good enough. I do know enough. I am smart enough. I do have enough resources and magic and tension within me to do this.
Hmm.
And so it's like, okay, or after you've maybe gone, all right, I need to like maybe look at why I'm having these negative thoughts
Hmm.
and address that, but then at some point start something new, because that's what Uranus would like. It wants it to be new and different and cutting edge, leading edge, um, outside the box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so with that, I would say that since we are still in Capricorn season, a way to ritualize the new, I'm just looking to see, um, one of the ways to ritualize the new is to work with that earth energy. So perhaps writing down, maybe on a bay leaf or on a piece of paper, the replacement, right? The I am enough. I do have everything I need. I do have love to give. Maybe writing that down again and putting it in. I'm not going to say put paper in the earth, but if you have plants in your house, perhaps putting that paper under the plant or in the plant, or again, if you write it on the bay leaf, right? Doing something with the earth to ritualize those affirmations for yourself would be great. I was trying to find out, I thought I wrote down when the new moon was this month.
Oh, it's
I
on
don't
the
think
ninth,
I
I
wrote it.
think.
I don't think I wrote it for January. What is it?
I think it's on the ninth. I can look it up real quick. Yeah, it's coming up pretty quick.
Okay.
Capricorn. Yep.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see it. The
Yeah,
11th.
on the ninth.
Oh, it's on the
Oh,
9th?
well, that's it. That's Aquarius new moon on the 9th of February. Okay, wrong month. I got to get to the right month here. Um, it is on the 11th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So up until then, I would say between the time of seeing this video and doing that, because the moon will still be waning. And so those things that you want to get rid of, definitely focusing on
Oh,
that.
yeah.
And
Continuing
then,
to let go, and then the new moon is the time to really energize what you want to
right.
bring forth and create a mantra that you can use this year. I was sharing with Zoe, and I've shared this before, but one of my favorite mantras I've been using for a long time is I'm a superconductor of love. Because I feel like love and loving kindness are going to change the world in ways that we can't even imagine. And that sometimes we maybe do a kindness for a person, we have no idea what the ripple effect is.
Yeah.
It's rippling out into something greater. And I just get so excited thinking about that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, being able to be kind and supportive to the people around us,
Yeah.
it's going to change everything. And that's what Uranus is all about. It's the change maker. We
Yeah.
are here as the change agents for a new world, a new way of being, and Uranus is here to help us with that. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So there we are.
Way to start this year. Woohoo! It's going to be
Yes, I love it.
fabulous, magical, amazing. We'll support each other, and we're going to change everything for as we move from this time into the future,
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
change it with loving kindness.
Loving kindness, balance, healing for all.
Yes. All right. I hope everyone has a very happy year, new year and year, whole year. So,
Yeah.
bye everyone.
Bye.
Okay.